Hey everybody, it's the boss lady here, coming to you from my vehicle. This is the third time that I have recorded this video, or recorded this topic, I should say. Not the third time today. I've actually recorded 2 different times last week. One I think on Thursday, one on Friday. Now here it is Monday. You'll probably see this, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, whenever I decide to put it up. But anyhow. So the title of this video is called Shake It Off. And I got this title actually from my pastor. The reason being, my pastor talked about, we go through things and it gets us really upset, and we want to talk about, we're really upset about whatever we're going through. And he's telling us we just need to shake it off. Like, you need not worry about it. Let God handle it. Just shake it off. So case in point, let's just get off into it. I'm going to peel that Band-Aid off, y'all. Rip it back. So, there's no way to even sugarcoat it, but just to say it. I am not getting my promotion. Yep. I'm not getting my promotion. And I can actually have a smile on my face. No tears. I'm tired, but no tears. And it's not by fault of my own. I have all the credentials. I do the work. It's not by my boss's fault either. Or my AP. So let me tell you. So, remember when I said I was going to negotiations and I had a secretary who was just, she was just like ragging on all the new secretaries and how they are able to be hired at a high step, or at the top of the step or whatever. And that's not fair for secretaries who've been there all this time, right? So, we're like, whatever. But she kept on. So, I instantly got offended because I'm like, how can you, excuse me, oh Jesus, see, you gotta get all that mess out, gotta shake it off. I'm like, how can you sit up here and have an attitude with people who clearly met the requirement, right? I proved myself. So anyway, so there was another lady in my negotiations and she told me about this other position. And she said, you should talk to your boss about it. So I was like, okay. Well, at the time, they didn't know I was talking to my boss. I just emailed my boss. My boss said, let me look into it. I told you guys about all that in the good news video, whatever it's called. So anyway, so my boss did her due diligence, right? She checked into it. We had to get, finance involved. We had to get HR involved, budget, all that stuff, and everything was a go. Or so we thought. Keep up. So, what happened, so my boss talked to her finance friend, who is also a previous secretary of our school. She was there 2 years ago. Two school years ago, almost 3 school years ago now. She now works in finance. So whenever my boss has a finance question or whatever, she asks her because old girl knows her stuff. Keep up. Lord, I hear you. I hear you, Jesus. You saying, did you just say shake it off? I hear you. So she reached out to her and the lady. They work on the job description, all the things, right? And just gotta do this and just gotta do that and all the things. I mean, she's, my boss is asking her and she's telling her. Ooh, wait till I tell y'all, okay? So, she tells my boss, Sharon has to complete this form and this and that and submit this on this day and da 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 da. Okay. My boss said, did you do this? Yeah, I started working and I got it. I submitted. I get a response back. What is this for? Excuse me? Say what now? What? Oh, we don't use that form anymore. You have to wait until da 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 da. My boss is on email, but this is during the week of. This is the week prior to graduation. But my boss was on the email. So anyway, my boss sets up these meetings. My meeting was the last of the Dream Team meeting. So we meet on the 13th. Because I originally sent that email back like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th, something like that. So we meet on the 13th. My boss is literally going over my new duties and what it entails, what I have to do, da da da. You know, more than once, you're the preferred candidate, blah, 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 you know. And then she's like, so what happened to this and this? I said, what do you mean? You were on the email. And she said, da, 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 right? And I know I'm not filling in a lot of the blanks because if I do, then that's, you know, data private and I'm not trying to do that. But anyway, keep up. So I'm like, this is what she said. So I send her what she said. So she, on the 13th, my boss, sends an email like, where are we with this? Because one of the things we were told we had to wait till the budget got approved. The budget was approved by the board on the 11th. That's why my meeting was on the 13th. And my boss is thinking, okay, we already, you know, she never responds to my boss. Never responds. The 14th comes, my boss leaves early because that's graduation. She goes to be a mom before she has to be a principal again, right? She's got to do her mommy duties. So then, old girl shows up at the school because she has kids that go to the school. And I said, hey, did you see boss's email? What email? And I'm like, okay, now. Let me just stop right here. I've already had some feelings about this person throughout the school year, especially when it comes to my job, because my boss has put her in charge of training me, and she is not a great trainer. So, like, there was things that she did not train me on, and I just found out about those things the last 2 weeks of school. Keep up. Now you know where I'm going, but the Lord said shake it off. So she's like, what are you talking about? What email? And I'm off for today and I'll be working this weekend. I said, well, the boss is requesting your response. And we need to get this going for this position. So then she hits me with, well, you know, other people are going to be applying for that position. I said, and? In other words, like, I wasn't worthy to get the position. She was real negative with it. And I was like, what the heck? So I, you know, and so then I had something in my shanana. I'm like, something ain't right. I went and talked to my AP because, of course, like I said, my boss is out. It's graduation day. And so I was like, and he knew something was up because where my AP's office is compared to where my office is, honey, it's a run. Okay? And I'm talking about I'm panting because I was, because it was a walk. And they said, something must be up if Miss Sharon is on this side of the school. And so he thought we were going to talk in the hallway. And I was like, oh no, because there was somebody in the hallway. I didn't want my business. So we went and talked in his office. I said, let me get my breath for a minute. Because, you know, the girl a little extra fluffy and you need some exercise, child. Anyway. So, oh, that's beautiful. They're building a new mansion over here. So we talk, and he talks me off the cliff, and then of course he says, some people say things just to ruffle your feathers, and then he starts saying, well, in this new position you can't let people ruffle your feathers, and this is this. And I said, well, first of all, I never let her see me sweat. I'm coming to you after the fact, after she done left, and so I'm trying to find out from you what's what, right? So he appeased me, calmed me down. Him not knowing anything either, but calmed me down. I'm like, okay, I'm cool, whatever, right? Baby. So I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to chill, right? The 17th comes. My boss clearly states to the AP, I'm sorry, it's like construction and I'm trying to get to where I need to go, but my boss clearly states to AP, I need you to be on top of this position and this and that and whatever, making sure he's doing what he need to do in her absence. He's like, okay, fine. Tuesday, the 18th comes. We have it's called financial tie-out, where we do all our finance stuff. And the lady from finance is there. So once we do all our stuff, everything's tied out, we're good to go. I asked the question of, have you completed this and this, because the boss is out and now he's in, and we need to make sure that this and this gets handled. So then she want to sit and joke, and this is not a joking matter. Like, where do you get off with this nonsense? The lady was getting on my nerves. Do you hear me? Can I get through there? Oh, I don't know if I can get through there either. So I'm like, it's like she was just like funny, like, well, where are you going? Well, how come you ain't gonna be here? And she was just like, and this is her personality. I finally figured it out, right? But it also done got on my nerves. But I'm just trying to just save face, just whoo, right? And I said, listen, he's gonna be leaving town. He has to do what the boss has asked him to do. So I need you to do what you need to do so he can handle his business. So then she turns to him and she gets real serious. And she goes, well, like I told Sharon, anybody can apply for this position. This is on the 18th. Keep up with the dates. He said, we're aware of that. And she said, well, I won't be looking at budget stuff until next week on this date. He's like, okay. Okay. So, keep up. The 19th is a holiday. That's Juneteenth. The 20th comes. We're working. We're doing our, All of a sudden, I get an email. And I'm like, what? Because my name was on it. So that's what made me, look at it sideways like, wait a minute. And it's from my boss. Now, mind you, she's off. And it's talking about, we got a new person coming, not in the position not in the promotion position, but in a lower position for the office. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? What is this? My AP's like, what? And he looks and he was like, and so he starts emailing. Nobody's responding to him. She's emailing. They're responding to her, but very little. And I just, everything, all the happiness, all the joy just left my body. Because it was at that moment I knew, without a shadow of a doubt. So then, I get later that after lunch, I'm being real quiet, not saying much. And the AP phone rings. He looks at it, like he picks it up, looks at it, and he walks out the room, right? And then I tell my coworker, I said, I'm not getting that position. She said, what do you mean? What? And I started telling her just the tidbits that I knew of what had transpired that day, the emails and all that. So she was like, what? And then that's not right. And I was like, shh, here he come. They were on the phone for over 45 minutes with HR and the head director of HR, and they said no, can't do it. And I was like, wow. So my coworker leaves. It's just me and AP. I'm wrapping up, and he said, I have some bad news. I said, I figured. So he tells me, apparently there was some deadline that needed to be met. The deadline wasn't met. So then therefore, we're not able to make the changes within the budget in order to have the position rolled into the budget. And the union is involved and all these things, right? So the person who was placed with us, because we had originally had an office assistant position, and my boss had asked that for that position not to be posted because there was going to be some changes, and HR posted it anyway, and then the union and HR placed someone in that position, and so it wouldn't be quote unquote right to unplace that person as they were excess from their other position at their site they were at. Nauseousness, sickness, just all the things. But it gets worse. So of course, my AP's like, our boss don't like to take no for an answer. She's still trying to work the angles, but it doesn't sound like it's going to happen this year. If anything, we'll have to do it during budget tie-out next year. I'm not trying to hear next year. I'm thinking of right now. But in due time, delay does not mean denial. All the cliches. So then, and I think he kept talking to me because he knew I was upset. I think he was waiting for me to start crying, or I'm not giving no satisfaction on that. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to let this man see me sweat, drop a tear. I might make a little flip comment here or there because I said, well, I guess now I know what I need to do. Need to get a second job, need to look for a new job, whatever. And so, of course, he did all the things of, you're very valued and we appreciate you. We love having you here. We know you got to do what's best for your family, but we would hate to see you go. All these things, right? Then he hits me with, even though I'm not in that role, I can still do the things of that role. First of all, half of my job is that role. There was going to be some extra added things to the back end of that role, okay? So when he said that, that's when I got flipped. I said, I will not work for free. I don't know about anybody else, but no. My nose is brown enough. I don't work for free. What you guys were putting into this role for me to do, there is no way I would sit up and do that for free. And he looked. He goes, well, I'm not saying. Yes, you were. And I don't know who you thought. That's when the hood came out in me. Because I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you heard. So we ended cordially. I got my stuff. I'm thinking we're going to the elevator together. I head to the elevator. He goes the opposite way. And I thought he said he was leaving. But whatever. Not my husband. I ain't got to check up for him. So whatever. So I get downstairs to go turn in my temporary badge to get my regular badge. And the elevators behind me open up and I hear, hi, Sharon. And I went like this. It was the finance lady. And then she just stood there. I'm talking to security to get my badge. So she's just standing there. So I'm like, okay, so apparently she wants to say something to me. So I'm trying to keep my tone in check, my body language in check. She didn't show up at my boss's job yesterday. I mean, my boss's house yesterday. So if she did, she came well after I left, and I was there for 2 hours. But anyway, I'm walking out the door, and she's there. Like, she's like walking with me. Like, we're truly co-workers and friends. And so I just kind of looked at her, and I said, so I guess you heard. She goes, yeah, you know, I mean, there's deadlines, and, you know, the budget, and there's deadlines with the budget, and, you know, changes can't be made after the deadline. The date of this, June 20th. Mind you, when I sent that email with the documentation stuff that I had to do, that was on June 3rd. So you knew this whole time. The whole time. You knew June 3rd, you knew June 1st, you knew June 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. All the way through. You knew the 13th when that email went out to you. You knew the 14th when I spoke to you. You knew the 18th when we had a conversation with you, me and the AP. She knew the whole time. And it was at that moment that I could not keep it together. I got to my car and I just busted out crying. I wasn't crying because I was sad or hurt. I was mad as hell. And I was doing everything in my power not to follow her in that parking lot and curse her out. Not hurt her, just curse her out. So anyway, I talked to my AP on that Friday, the 21st. We had a long conversation, him and my coworker that were in the same office. And we talked for a while, you know, and I was more at peace by the time I talked to him on that Friday. But I let him know too. She knew the whole time. She knew the whole time. And here's the thing. When my boss reached out to her initially around the beginning of June, my boss had suspended her child. So she was ticked off. What a way to get back at a person, huh? At my expense, though. She already didn't like me. She already felt like I knew too much but didn't know enough, if that makes sense. Like, you know, how is this person just up in here and whatever, and, you know, and she tried to be so superior to me. But then I would check her at every chance I could. But yeah, so that's what happened. And like I said, I did the video Thursday. I was very upset. I redid the video Friday without tears. I did the video now, definitely without tears. But I was very upset, very just like, I cannot believe this is happening. I did text my boss, and she was like, she was so apologetic, you know, and I mean, I get it, you know, she was so apologetic, and, it just, I mean, it's out of her control, you know what I mean? While I was very happy and on a cloud, now I'm just like, okay. So, you know, delay does not mean denial. I mean, my AP's like, we could try again during budget next year. We could. I'll see how I feel at the time of budget tie-out. But what I will say, wholeheartedly, is that I have credentials. And I potentially can go anywhere. And because I was so broken Thursday, because of this, I was like, seriously, like ready to just walk. And I know that would break my boss's heart. However, you know, my heart is broke. But I also, I'm choosing not to walk this next school year, it is my daughter's senior year. My daughter has lost 3 teachers this last school year. Not by death, but they're leaving the school. And she's still maintaining at a great level. If I chose to leave, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it would be detrimental. She would revert back to 9th and 10th grade year, and I cannot have that with her getting ready to go to college. So I am choosing to swallow my pride, do a good job, stay where I'm at, and then next year, depending on what happens during budget, begin my exit plan. Because never will I ever think that it's okay to work with someone like that. And that's just how I am. That's how I feel. So when I went to church, you know, pastor started preaching, and I was like, wait a minute now. He talking about stuff. I'm like, he don't even know what done happened. I had just told his wife just that morning. And she said, you know what? Something's better coming for you. She said, so just hang in there. I said, I am. She said, no, for real, for real. Something's better is coming for you. And I want you to hang in there, hold on, keep your faith. And I said, no problem. Just like, if I can remember to clip this part, the pastor said something about, when you go into church and you doing what you're supposed to do, things still happen. And they do. But I'm good. I'm good. Currently I'm looking for just a part-time for the summer. I don't really want to be at home. But I also want to keep my skills sharp. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at too. Keep my skills sharp, keep everything, just so. Because never will you have me set up to not be able to move and make my money. You know how I definitely would love to retire from the district? I don't know. But I did say, when my boss leaves, I'm definitely out. And that's the truth. Like, you ain't got to worry about me. So, it is what it is. But yes, so I wanted to do this video. I'm actually getting ready to cheat on my caribou. I have a card right here. And beautiful card. And I have a Starbucks gift card. And it's $25. And I needed a little something just to, wake me up, do a little shimmy shake. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. But thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see everybody in a new video. Bye, guys. Before I go, don't weep for me. Don't cry for me. Boss Lady is always good. Bye.
I'm keeping my eye on the Lord. I'm not going to retaliate tick for tack. Who am I preaching to? Take it off. Let it go. Keep the eye on Jesus. You can do that. God's got something waiting for you.
All right. Thank you, Lord.
If you can do that, you can stay in the game. Worry about folks that can only stay in when things are good. There's going to be some time when you're going to have to stay in the game. Take it off. God knows what you like. God knows what you got. And when it's all said and done, I'm just going to keep on trusting in the Lord. Because if it had not been for the Lord on my side,
all right,
where would I be? If God can take dust from the ground,
all right,
make it and accepting like you and I. Surely he can handle my bad situation. Surely he can resurrect anything that's dead. And you may be in a dead situation right now. You may be struggling with a wayward child. You may be struggling with your job. You may be struggling with your health. But I just stopped by to encourage you to keep your eye on the Lord.
Amen.
Hold on, Lord. To God's unchanging hand. You do know that He's a loving God.
Oh, yes.
You do know He's a God that sees all things. And He knows what you're about. You hang in there. Don't allow the enemy to make you quit. Just shake it off. Who am I preaching to? Just shake it off. Keep on coming back. God's got something for you.
Thank you, Lord.